On this episode of Camping Cribs, you will fall in love with Dana's darling Airstream Nest named Dixie. Hey everybody, it's Brenda and we're having another episode of Camping Cribs with my bestie Dana. We're back on camera again.
It's been a while.
Okay, well, I've been dying to have you give us a little tour of the nest. You guys have two RVs, but this is the one that you usually take out solo, right?
Yes, this of the two that we have, this is the first one we bought. It's a 2019 Airstream Nest. They made about 400 or so of them, 422 I believe. There's less than 375 out on the road right now. So
what was so different about this, about Airstreams? Everybody knows it's iconic, it's a silver bullet. So why did they decide to go fiberglass? I mean,
well, they bought, it was an existing design by another manufacturer, and they bought out the rights for that design, and they gave it a shot for a couple of years. It's actually not the first time they've gone with a fiberglass model.
Really?
Several years ago, I think it was in the 60s. Don't quote me on that, but there was another opportunity for them to do enter the fiberglass market, and it didn't last as very long for them. They went back to their iconic aluminum, and then they gave it a shot again in 2019, 2020, and it was introduced at the same time that the Base Camp came out. So
I remember that.
It was a direct competition, and Base Camp did really well. Actually, I think the Nest originally did pretty well, but Base Camp went out. So I don't know why exactly they quit making it, but there's only a handful of us that have them. And
when did you see it for the first time and become interested?
We saw it in 2018, I believe it was 2018, at the Houston RV show. They had debuted it, and so we walked through it, and I drooled, and because the Base Camp is real rugged and real utilitarian inside, and this one is more luxurious, and it has the padded walls and true queen size mattress, and it was more along my bougie camping ideals. So it was the one that I first fell in love with, out of our price range. And then in 2020, I had an opportunity to do a lot of research and came across this one at Airstream of DFW, and we snagged it. So
raced over there.
Yeah.
And so let's be clear. So this is usually you're camping by yourself in this one, but your husband's come along and camped, like you all camped together in this one.
Oh yes. So we had this one, when we bought this one, we actually had a fifth wheel as well. The fifth wheel was in the shop, and in August of 2020, my son was a freshman in high school, and they did remote learning. So I had been laid up for several months from an accident, and I was going stir crazy with the four walls, and told my husband and my son, if we're gonna have remote learning, then we're gonna remote learn. And we did a 3-week trip up to Glacier National Park in this camper, because the fifth wheel was in the shop. So my husband was like, well, I guess we'll make it work. So actually 3 of us were in this little camper for daily activities, but we bought a rooftop tent for the truck. And so
did you boot the husband up to the rooftop tent or the son?
Actually the son, and he loved every minute of it. 15-year-old camping in a rooftop tent. He took the dogs with him at night, and then we had the queen size bed.
And tell everybody how tall your husband is.
He's 6'3", 6'2", 6'3", and this is actually one of the reasons we chose this camper, because I wanted a fiberglass, and so we had, there's lots of fiberglass options out there, but this one has a full head height ceiling, and it has a rear entry. So you'll notice when you go in, I believe it's 8 feet tall on the inside. So there was no ducking to go in the door, no ducking when he was in there. And although I camp in it mostly by myself, he does travel with me when we want to just, when we want to go off-roading or something and just park the camper and take our tow vehicle, which is more of an off-roading tow vehicle, then we take this one. But we also have a big one.
I was going to say, so this inspired you to get another couple's coach, kind of.
Yes, so my husband thought this one towed so well up to Glacier. He was done with the fifth wheel. We got home, and he sold it in 6 days. Once it came out of service, he put it on the market, and it was sold in 6 days. Granted, this was
during the market was good.
Yeah, September 2020, we made a profit off of that fifth wheel, which is unheard of in the RV world. So, but he loved this one so much, he's like, let's just travel in this one. And of course, my heart was like, but it's my she shed. So he said, well, when we'll wait a little while and we'll get a larger camper. So we waited about 18 months. We purchased another Airstream because he was not an Airstream fan, I will be honest, until we had this one. And then he just loved everything about it. So we ended up purchasing a 22, we got it in 23, 25 foot. So that's
Nice.
our quote unquote family camper, because we do have 3 children that still occasionally travel with us and sometimes with their significant others.
So what else about the exterior did you think was unique that you really love about the Nest? Is there anything else cool? Is it 2 pieces?
It's 2 pieces that have been clamped together with an end cap, as you'll notice.
Okay.
The end cap is where the entry door is. 2 molded fiberglass pieces that are molded together, and then it's all basically bolted onto the frame underneath. So it's super lightweight. I just love the look of it. You know, it's kind of a spaceshipy. You know,
It gets a lot of
Airstream,
attention
it
when
gets a
you're,
lot. Gets
when
a
you
lot of
stop
looks.
off to fuel up.
Yeah, it gets a lot of looks. So.
Well, we would love to take a tour of the inside. Do you mind if we take a peek?
Not at all.
Okay, let's go. All right, we're heading inside the Nest, and this is what Dana was talking about. It's kind of unique that this has a rear entry, and that was one of the things you liked.
I did.
A lot. Okay, so it's only a 1 person go in at a time, so we're going to send you in and start giving us the tour in here. You walk in immediately, and the bathroom's on your right.
So you walk in, and actually, yep, this is the it's a wet bath. And so it has the toilet, the shower, it has a mirror, and I actually have installed 2 shower curtains. So I can actually pull the shower curtains and keep the toilet area completely dry while I'm showering. So that's kind of nice. And then, so I don't have to wipe everything down every time.
What else did you do inside there? Can you give us a peek?
Yeah, I just added hooks and stuff. It really came as is. What you see is what you get.
The teak floor?
We did put the teak mat floor in, and then this is also where I keep my laundry. You know, it's up out of the way. And then really it's a perfect place for like your laundry detergents and things along the sides. And there's a little cabinet underneath that holds all your toiletries if you need extras, but it came with bottles of, you know, for your shampoo and conditioner and stuff. So
I like it.
I love it. We did change off the fan, put a new 12-volt fan with a light in there, so that's kind of nice.
Got it.
And then this is a full closet. I know hard to see, but I have my, you know, who doesn't travel with their full length mirror?
Of course. Of course.
Gotta have that, especially when you're working out of your camper. It has pull-out drawers, a bottom area for shoes, hanging cabinet where I have a side panel for extra goodies, and then all of my extra basics up at the top. So I keep my mop and my broom and things like that tucked up against the side. So, and then that gets tucked up in there as well.
And that's a real mirror.
It is a real mirror, I know, but it stays nice and protected.
It does.
This is the refrigerator. It is a 12-volt refrigerator, so I can actually keep ice cream and solid ice cubes up in the top part. So it's compressor style, so it's wonderful. And then it has, you know, the 2 pieces here, lots of little shelves, and then some drawers where I keep all my fresh veggies and things. I do occasionally travel with a plug-in Dometic electric portable refrigerator or portable cooler that I'll plug into the camper and just keep it in the back of my vehicle. So I have extra storage for things like that. Microwave, and then this is just the breaker panel, all the electronics of the camper.
So why do you have that little sign that says Dixie Love?
Oh, that's her name. Camper's
forgot
name
to
is
ask
Dixie
you.
Love. Yep, my grandmother's name was Dixie, and she was the adventurer. She passed when I was 8 years old, but it's named after her because she was just kind of the inspiration for my travels. So she's my dad's mom, and so we named the camper after her.
Okay, give us a tour of the living area.
Okay, very tight, but here we have a little seating area. The table does fold around so you can use it as like an eating space. I have it turned sideways so I can keep my ice maker and still have a place to sit. There's storage underneath. We have a working television, storage up on this side, and then on the other side of the camper is my cooktop, drawers and storage, more cabinet space underneath. This is my sink. Oops, sorry, it's dirty. And then more storage up here, and then the bed. And it's a true queen size mattress with just a rounded edge on each side that just fits up against the Nest. The Nest did come with an option for a dinette, which you could make into a bed, but we chose the full bed and the true bed instead, so we would have a comfortable mattress. And then there's storage underneath there and storage all around the top.
What's your favorite way to cook?
Outside. Although I did bust out the propane cooktop today and made some simple syrup for some tea.
Dana, this kind of reminds me of some of our 52U videos. I can remember sitting side by side on this couch right here doing, go back and look at those 52 ways to empower women RVers from this very camper
We did some life safety videos.
We did.
Here.
I remember that. Well, okay, thank you for this tour. We love Dixie so much, and you guys join us next time on another episode of Camping Cribs.
Bye.
See you later.
Ah, memories.
I know.